I've heard, and I wonder what your reaction to it was. There was a party at Daniel Dubois'S house, ordered by his father, with about 70 people at the house.
The day of.
The day of. The afternoon of. The afternoon
was
of.
Was Daniel there?
Yes.
Was Daniel there?
And the people that were there were not known to Daniel, to such a point that Daniel actually asked his father if he could go out for a drive because he didn't know anybody there.
That is insane. Sorry.
And then beyond that, you'll see footage of it. The entourage, this party that Daniel doesn't seem to know anybody of, were all coming to the fight, but they weren't allowed in the arena. And so on the way in, they're being asked by security as to the reasons why they come in, and Daniel is being stopped and told, I think his father told security, that unless you let these guys in, he's not fighting.
Oh, that is
how disruptive.
That is a different story altogether. That is insanely disruptive. Wow.
I mean, we're talking about fighters being regimental on the day and superstitious on the day, and some fighters want to wear a ring in their laces and all that sort of stuff. But it all has to be on point for you to go in there, because, like you say, like any little thing can throw you off track.
That is not a little thing.
Could you imagine? No, can you imagine going through that?
Yeah. No. And the problem is, it's coming from someone that he looks out of the ring. When they're talking, it's coming from his dad. Obviously, I've trained with him. His dad's a huge part of his life, so that is obviously going to be disruptive.
Are you surprised by this, Joe?
I'm very surprised. I'm shocked.
This is what I've heard.
Okay, you guys just heard that, right? Daniel's dad threw a party, not the day before. That's what I thought it was. No. This was the day of. He threw a party at the house. Daniel didn't know anybody. So he was like, dude, I need to leave because I don't, and Daniel looks like one of those type of people that don't really like to be around people he don't know. I think he feels kind of out of sorts. And the crazy thing is, those same people were going to the fight, and then the father said, well, you let him in or Daniel's not fighting. See, listen, let me counterpunch. First of all, you can't say this had nothing to do with the mindset of Daniel. What Daniel would have won? No. He wouldn't have won anyway, but then nobody, I mean fucking nobody needs to go through that type of shit, especially from someone that's that close to him. That is one of those things that is so off the chain, so unacceptable, so unresponsible, to the point you're like, well, look, you have to ask yourself where Daniel's dad's mindset really is. And like I mentioned during the live stream, even counting on the day before, especially the day of, Daniel's dad was celebrating because he knew that this was the biggest fight purse that his son had to offer, and he knew they were all about to be bloody rich. And I think he knew that if his son lost or not, it doesn't matter, and it wouldn't have mattered because all of them are still getting paid because they're still getting that 71 mil. 71 M's that is going to be split up, divided, and separated by everyone, especially him. So, yeah, you can see the potential. Now can you see why his dad was acting the way he was? See, money reveals you. So, I think he had his kids fighting to see which one was going to make the most and do the greatest. And Daniel, needless to say, is the Michael Jackson of the bunch. He's the one that succeeded. I know Caroline is probably the most talented, but Daniel has surpassed that because he has fought for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. He's a millionaire. He's a multimillionaire. That means his daddy is a multimillionaire. And I think he knew that, and I think he acted irresponsibly. I think he acted sporadic. I am shocked, too, because it's like, who in the hell would put their son through that type of chaos and disruption and distraction when he had the biggest fucking fight of his life? See, he'll be champion again, I'm pretty sure, unless he quits. But nonetheless, this will always be the biggest fight against probably the best fighter that he's ever been in there with, because he's already been in there with him before. And to put people and to invite people that you don't know, it shows a lot about Stan's character. Let's talk about Stan Dubois for a minute. You invite people to a fucking house where your son is, that your son is getting prepared or getting mentally prepared for. Those last minutes is all a part of the process of being ready to do what you need to do. The last thing you need is people laughing, especially people you don't know. That brings your spirit away from, it takes your concentration away looking at all these people. And you know how Daniel is. Daniel, he's shit, he's really, he's one of those guys that you really don't know, right? People are still on the fence of Daniel and his mental fortitude anyway. So to put him through that type of shit is unacceptable. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, if anything, I want to be with my trainer. I want to be with my team that I've been with. I don't want to be around these fucking people now. That's the most backwardest shit that I've ever heard of in my life right there. You throw a big party the day of the fight. Like, this is just like, and here's the thing. What are you celebrating if you haven't won yet? That's the crazy thing. What are you selling that you haven't done yet? What are you celebrating that you haven't done yet? It's crazy. It's absolutely mad.